So that was hilarious, I gotta tell you. I just did my first Facebook Live a minute ago. I hope you didn't catch it because I was like sideways. I didn't understand that the orientation would come out that way, and that unlike photographs, you can't rotate it after the fact or delete it because it was live. But I expired it. Anyway, here's what you missed. I want to talk a little bit about how you can take what it is you love to do from being a hobby to being a business. And there are basically 3 steps to that. 1, get it off the back burner. If it's something that you're only doing when you have the time, it's a hobby. All right? And I know we're all pulled in 50 directions. My specialty as a coach is working with creatives and entrepreneurs who have particular focus issues due to conditions like ADHD, sometimes due to life circumstances where they're, like I said, pulled in 50 directions. They've got to get the kid to school. They've got to get to a doctor's appointment. They got to shop. They have a part-time job they need to do so that they can supplement the rent, or maybe they have to pay the full tab. Life is complicated, not to mention the fact that the stuff going on in the world makes us want to take part and be active. So I got to go do that letter writing campaign or call my representatives. If what you want to put out into the world as your message is on the back burner to all of that, it's a hobby. Okay? So how do you do that though? How do you get it onto the front burner so that all the other counter intentions aren't pulling it underground? I'm glad you asked. Schedule it. Stay in constant action. Schedule it? Actually, that comes second. You want to stay in constant action. How do you stay in constant action? By making sure what it is you love to do that you put on the front burner is constantly on your schedule. You've got to figure out what is going to move you forward. And it's a very interesting thing. I read a book called The One Thing, and it's about just that, identifying the actions that are going to really make a difference in your life. And many times, what is the one thing you need to do so that it makes everything else unnecessary or just a lot easier? Okay? So in terms of business, when I work with people, we identify the activities that are going to be what bring money into the bank, and they're usually not tinkering with the website, you know. It's often things like going out and finding referral partners by going to networking events. Or maybe you want to get out among the people and do a Facebook Live video. Whatever it is, you figure out what are those milestones and you make sure they're happening every week and put them in your schedule. Okay, so stay in constant action. You're off the back burner and you're staying in constant action. That much closer to being a professional. Now here's what really clinches it. Ask for money. Yeah, charge. Charge for your services. I know it's terrifying. And here's the thing. It is a process. Because in a lot of professions, you do have to do it for free for a while. I get that. As a coach, I had to do a certain number of practicum hours, free pro bono coaching hours to get my professional certification. And in addition to that, though, at a certain point, before I could get my professional certification, I had to start asking for money. Okay? So it is one of those weird professions where you start charging before you get the rubber stamp, I guess because it's not regulated and you want to prove you're professional. But most things, you don't have to have an MBA, you don't have to be certified, right? You have to be trained, and you have to know and believe that what you are doing is worth it. It is solving a problem for someone. And then you need to charge. So once you are at that point, before that you're in training. To me, if you are getting it off the back burner, you're staying in constant action, you're not yet charging, then you are in training. It's no longer a hobby. You are in training. You're in a training program to become professional. In order to graduate, you start asking for money. And here's where it gets interesting. You put a price on what it is you're doing, right? And you have whatever form of sales conversation it is. You know, you're auditioning for something, you get offered the job, whatever. In a lot of cases, you may have a representative talking the money for you, which is lovely. But if not, if you've come up with the next great snack food idea, you have to put a price tag on it and ask for money. And once you name your price, shut up. I charge $150. Stop talking. Here's what happens. People think they're transparent. I think. I mean, I relate to this. I used to. It's very easy to believe that everybody can see inside and witness the fraud factor going on, right? Oh, they're never going to think that this is worth it, and who do I think I am, and blah, 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 blah. And it's so funny to hear people start talking themselves down before anybody's had a chance to say yes or no. Well, I charge $150, and I know that's a little tough, but we know each other, so I'm going to give you 10% off, okay? If you like, we can also do a payment plan and stretch it out so that you only have to pay me a little money every... Shut up! Let it land. Okay? You are solving a problem for someone. So, in summation, to get what you love doing from being a hobby to being a business, you get it off the back burner, you stay in regular action with it, and you get paid. So that's my tip of the week. Maybe I'll do a tip of the day. I don't know, because this is my first Facebook Live video, and thank God I had a good hair day. Anyway, if there are other topics you'd like me to talk about, just type them in the comments below. My name is Rati Gorfine. My business is Creative Calling Coaching. It would have been good to say that in the beginning, perhaps, but hey, only the dead don't make mistakes. I would love to hear from you. Have a great week.